What is a lesson you learned too late in life? You have to take chances sometimes, and although it can be scary and outside your comfort zone, you'll never know what could have been unless you go for it. And even if you don't end up liking it, killing that part of your brain that kept saying you should try it looks interesting is so much more satisfying than never having tried it and leaving your brain in a constant what if. Do anything in life you're interested in. You win if it works out, or if it doesn't, you win no matter what. You don't need a million friends. Maybe less than 10, maybe 5, good friends. Put a lot of effort into those relationships instead of spreading yourself too thin. Feels harder as the world is so transient these days and people move all around the world. It's easy to lose and gain friendships very quickly, or even if you maintain long distance friendships, they are more difficult to maintain and may not be as impactful to your social needs. I can do it myself. Now that we're in the digital age, I learned how to change my windshield wipers, trim my rabbit's nails, repair screen windows, replace my sub pump. I always felt like I missed out learning hands-on thing because my dad checked out early. Girl, you can do that crap on your own. Absolutely, YouTube is a bomb for this. You can't really help people who don't truly want to help themselves, unless a person realizes, admits, and is receptive to being helped and helping him or itself. You're just wasting your energy and probably adding to your own stress. People who can frame everything to make themselves the victim are actually pretty toxic and most likely are the actual problem. I have learned that some people have no identity outside of their victimhood. Their only way of endearing folks to them is by garnering sympathy. I can't understand it. To me, it just seems embarrassing. That attention and actual interest are two-way different things. ETA. Wow. Okay. Had no idea this would be so popular. For those asking for elaboration, I guess I was looking at it more from a relationship love interest context. There are many men, women too, just going off my experience, who might give you attention, flirt, etc. But that attention does not actually mean they want to pursue anything. I've had it apply to friendships too, where the person just wants someone to party with, go to bars, but isn't interested in being more than an acquaintance. I'm not saying there's anything wrong there. I just wasted a lot of time expecting too much from the attention givers. Learning to tell the difference between the surface level stuff and the ones who actually gave a frick was a hard but important lesson for me. And thank you all for the awards. Glad to know so many people feel similarly. That the disappointment of your parents will be far shorter lived than the unhappiness you'll endure by trying to make your life fit their perfect picture. Arranged marriage has left the chat. That other people don't care what you think. They're more worried about themselves, and you aren't the first thing on their priority list. Could have saved so many headaches if I knew this years ago. You left out the stupidest part of that concept. Nobody cares what you think, but you have to care what they think. That everyone is making it up as they go along. Your teacher, parents, pastor, army generals, CEOs, everyone. No one has 100% true answers. However, success in life is about being decisive. Get enough information to make an intelligent decision, then confidently act on it. Others will think you have all the answers. I recently had to give a presentation for a new project to upper management. Going in, I was thinking, oh god, I have no idea what I'm doing. After the presentation, they were very approving, which made me think, oh god, they have no idea what they're doing. Listen to your grandparents' stories and ask them as many questions as you can about their lives and family history, etc. All 4 of mine passed when I was too young to truly appreciate any of the above. This one hits me hard. I have one grandparent left and she lives in a different country. Some people just won't admit they're wrong. Don't waste time trying to get them to accept it. Wasted too much of mine own time trying to correct people. It's the allegory of the cave man. That's why they also say, if you wanna tell folks the truth, be funny, otherwise they're gonna wanna kill you. Hey Neanderthals, there's a whole world to explore outside this cave. Also, you're wrong about everything. Okay, bye. The importance of dental health. I didn't take care of my teeth in my youth, and now that I'm older I very much regret it. Finally, something 10 out of 10 dentists can agree on. The kind of romantic love I had hoped for was a fantasy in my head and not how most normal relationships work. I learned about love through fan fiction written by fellow teenage girls, which is to say, I learned nothing. There's never a good time to change things. You just have to choose when you're gonna make the change and put the time, effort, and discipline in to make it happen. Example for me is quitting smoking. For years I told myself that I would quit smoking when things settle down and over a weekend where I'll be home and stress free, but then I would always start back because some stressful event happened and I needed it to help cope. The fact is, shoot's always gonna happen, but the difference is I need to change how I react to it. But that method is helping me in other areas. I used to game heavily and procrastinate on my adulting duties. Often I would neglect them as I would get so into a session I would lose track of time and be tired. I still do it from time to time as I'm working on changing my approach, that is, I will dust and vacuum everything before I get on. But it's absolutely nowhere near as bad as I used to be. You know what you need to change. Just start on one thing. Mine was quitting smoking. Since then I've focused on my health by walking more and exercising, as well as using my newfound time gained from each 5-minute smoke break I had to invest into myself. It's not too late, but I've learned that in certain situations where there's an opportunity to be accepted or rejected, whether it's work, romance, etc., sometimes the worst thing someone can say is no. Working your hardest and going above and beyond at your job doesn't guarantee you'll get any farther there. It will guarantee an unrealistic workload and pace that you can't maintain for the long term with your employer though. No better way to burn yourself out into total misery. The best place to be with work is just doing your job and clocking the frick out. You're far more likely to advance at a career by being well liked. Do yourself a huge favor and just strive for middle. Take an opportunity to shine every once in a while, and maintain your mental health so you aren't a dong to your co-workers. I'm 33 and it's taken me this long to truly and fully understand this concept. Average is not always a bad thing, especially in corporate America. Glad someone else noticed this. I always say don't raise expectations because when you do, people will always ask you to do it and it creates more work for you. When you do raise expectations, people will expect it from you every time, all the time. Boundaries are healthy and important. You never really know someone until you tell them no. It's okay to drop people who don't respect your boundaries. And if someone respects your boundaries until they're angry, they don't respect your boundaries. Does this count if it's my parents who disrespect my boundaries? LOL. It is okay to walk away from toxic family. I am not the monster they paint me as. I can't fix or save them. I can only protect my kids. It's not selfish to look after yourself and your happiness. If you're irreplaceable, you're unpromoteable. Missed several promotions early in my careers because I was too valuable in the position I was in. If you want a promotion, work hard enough to get noticed, but not so hard that they are dependent on you. It's okay to be selfish and take care of yourself over others. One day you may look and see there's nothing that you feel proud or accomplished by because you were living your life trying to please others versus doing what you want for yourself. Edit. Thank you so much for the awards. Above is a lesson that I've struggled with for way too many years, and I'm hoping to take my own advice in the future. I hope it can also encourage others because I know how guilty people can feel when they embark on self-care. Don't be the broken wing mender guy. I ended up doing that too many times. You end up attracting crazy instead of stable. Can you elaborate? Spending a few extra seconds to be kind to someone else. Person checking you out the grocery store? Tell them thanks, I hope you have a good day, or asking how's your day going. Going through a drive-through? Say please and thank you after ordering. I worked drive-through for years and people are so rude, but a little politeness goes a long way, especially in times of COVID. People have bad days and it bleeds into other aspects of their life. Show compassion and you could change someone's day. I go out of my way to go to a coffee shop where the baristas ask me about my work at the university. Sure, it's part of their job, but it makes me feel a bit more special about my work. Gives me the extra boost for the day. A lot of those arrogant, hyper-aggressive, overconfident, tough guys are full of crap. Nobody knows what they are doing, but people sure do talk as if they do. Tease these guys a little bit and they will work for your affirmation for forever. You just have to have the guts to take the first jab. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying this is how it works. No matter how much scientific evidence you show some people, they refuse to believe anything that doesn't fit their narrative. Same goes with political opinions. To try harder and focus while still young, I didn't start caring about actually having a career or making a decent income until after I graduated college. Now I'm having to struggle with money, work a full-time job I hate, and do school part-time so I can finally get a job that pays well and something I'll hopefully enjoy. If I don't enjoy it, well, at least it will pay well. I feel like I will be in this comment 5 years later, but I don't want to. Now is my time to care about this. Thanks. Never drive without car insurance, even a short distance. Don't freaking do it. Also, if you have AL baby, get zipper PJS. Frick snaps. Don't go through life wondering what could have been if you had tried harder or gave it a second chance. Regret is one of the worst feelings that could eat you away from the inside. Save for retirement and set up your 401k contributions to increase by 1% each year, preferably timed for when and or if you get your annual increase. You won't notice it in your paycheck, but it will do wonders for your investments. Don't even try to force a deep connection with a narcissist. From my experience, they are not capable of intimacy or a friendship that goes beyond the surface, so you'll only end up hurt and abused. You can work as hard you want to, but if you're working in the wrong direction, dead-end jobs, joyless pursuits, it's all for nothing. The human resources, HR, department is there to protect the company, not you. Don't ever think you can lean on HR for anything. You can work every waking hour for days at a time, your absolute hardest, and the minute you misstep or make a mistake, it will all burn down far faster than you could ever put it together. Don't get fat. This might seem like a shitpost, but it's really not. I was fat throughout high school and I've gotten bullied and rejected. I'm still fat and I suffer from so many health problems. My back hurts all the time. It feels like the life is being sucked out of me. I have no energy and I'm a very young man. I'm trying to lose weight, but it's not easy. I wish I never got fat in the first place. It sucks. Save every last dime you can early and buy a house. After you buy a house, everything is downhill from there. Also learn whatever you can get your hands on as soon as possible. It's still doable later, but it's harder. The amount knowledge and experience you can get will ensure you can do more later in life. Lastly, for the most part, don't give a frick about what others think of you. Your happiness mainly depends on you in so many ways. Emotionally, jobs, education, and hobbies. There are 7 billion people in this world. You aren't the only one doing it, feeling it, going through it. You aren't the only one and won't be the last one. Go do what you want and be happy. Sometimes listening is greater advice than advice itself. By that I mean that everybody is capable of solving their own problems, and sometimes they don't need advice. They just need someone to bounce their head off of to lay out their issues. The best thing you can do is be there and give them a positive experience. If you are lucky, you will still get older. Learn that skill now instead of regretting that you don't know how in 5, 10 or 15 years. There'll always be a crisis du jour in your life. I've spent the last 40 years saying to myself, when mom's cancer thing has resolved, when this recession is done, when this big push at work dies down, when this global pandemic is over, then I'll be able to have some time to relax. Problem is, there's always something. Figure out how to be okay with the maelstrom. Know that this is the new normal and get comfortable. There's plenty of room for joy in the interstitial space of the current catastrophe. That failure is part of success. Don't get down by your failures. If you fail 99 times but succeed once, then you're doing just fine. Once I realized that failure is a learning opportunity, I became a much happier person overall. That I am not as dumb, and my father and my teachers told me, learning disabilities have nothing to do with intelligence and you can find a way. I am a highly successful adult and I out-earned them all. You can't fix someone who is broken, and it's especially not worth it to stay with them when they are hurting you. No matter how bad you love someone, you owe it to yourself to love you more. I loved someone more than myself and it left me homeless, broke, jobless, and I almost lost my cats. So in 8 months I found happiness in myself. He left me and she cheats on him consistently. I don't feel bad. I'm going back to school. I'm back in my home state. I have great relationships with family now. The money you're paid for your job is completely random and is completely unrelated to any economic factors. Keep applying for jobs and you can be overpaid and underworked too. It's a game of chance. Keep rolling the dice and one day you might roll a 6. You don't have to apologize for who you are. Be yourself, even when you feel like you shouldn't. Real friends will come out of the woodwork and love you for you. Everyone is going to have a different name for your political orientation, so it's better to just have specific views on each individual subject than just declare yourself one or the other. Cash solves a lot of problems. Eat well and exercise at an early age to establish a good routine. It is extremely hard to lose weight as you age. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.